glorious summer's Sunday afternoon, and Super League 3, a home game for the Salford Reds against the Sheffield Eagles, who are just taking the field now, and Sheffield Eagles deserving all the applause from all the Rugby League followers outside Wigan for that thrilling, that brilliant Challenge Cup victory at Wembley a fortnight ago. So all credit to the Eagles, great victory, and for the second year on the trot, the team that's beaten Salford in the semi-final is the team that's won the cup. And if only it could have been Salford. And the Eagles, well, they lost in the return match in the league match against Wigan last week, and the Salford Reds, I'm sure, will be wanting to avenge that defeat in the semi-final at Headingley, what seems like an age ago now. Great start to the season for the Salford Reds, won 3 and lost 2, and the Salford Reds, they're taking the field now with their 2 young mascots leading them out. Great occasion for those 2 young men. What a wonderful opportunity for the kids to lead out the stars from the Salford Reds. Fortunately, I've not got the teams, but we'll sort out who's playing as the match goes on, I'm sure, no doubt about that. I can see that Marcus Vasilakopoulos, that Vassi's playing for the Eagles. Interesting to find out whether Mark Aston's out there or not. He was possible that he wouldn't be able to play because of injury. Nor Michael Jackson, but we'll see as the play develops. Now, what's unusual for me from this game is that normally I watch the match from the halfway line along with the camera, but today, because of the presence of the Sky cameras, you're going to see on the video the Sky picture and all the close detail that gives. So there were the 2 mascots and chased off by Daredevil Duck. Great for them. But I'm standing in front of the clubhouse at the furthest point from the game. Oh, he's been chased off by the Eagle, aren't they? Daffy Ducks. Daredevil Duck's just on his way now. I'm standing in front of the clubhouse, so from one end of the ground to the other, at the far end, at the cricket ground end, it's a long, long way when it comes to player identification. But that won't matter for you, because watching it on the video, you'll have all the benefit of all the camera angles that Sky shows and all the replays that come with it. And Steve Blakely gets the match off. And the Eagles now, very hot evening, 22 degrees centigrade or thereabouts on the temperature clock. And I'm sure that is going to have a big impact on this game, the hottest game so far of the season. And the first penalty going the Eagles' way, and there's Cliff Eccles out. First start for him for several weeks now because of an injury. No Scott Naylor for the Salford Reds. Another injury, no David Bradbury. But David Hume's there, Steve Blakely's there, Josh White's there, Nathan McAvoy, but it's the Eagles at these first stage. Johnny Lawless, batting half, working the short side. Nice little inside pass, but good cover from the Salford Reds defence. Good line from the Eagles. Watching the game from behind the play, you can see, oh, good play. I think it was Gareth Stevens catching the eye with that little break, but the Reds close the gap. An important 6 now for the Eagles, still moving the ball. Good little pass going on and deep and into touch, and that's the sort of thing that so rarely happens in Super League these days, that we just take it for granted that the pass is easy to make. But no, these players have to work on it and get in the right position all the time. Matt Crowther's on the left wing for the Eagles, and the Salford Reds have the first chance. And it was Darren Rogers almost in the standoff position. So Salford's first period, and there's Sini Marlow. So Scott Martin in for Scott Naylor. David Hume trying to force his way through, little pass on. Referee saying that was a forward pass. And so scrum down, and possession from the scrum if it happens to the Eagles. Eagles get on with it quickly. Oh, the real opportunity. Keith Senior, we know what damage he did in the quarter-final. Good tackling though from Steve Blakely from acting half, making the tackler his. Little dummy sold. Everything going. Eagles going forward in numbers. Salford having to tackle in numbers. Good to see Cliff Eccles back. That incredible record of 100 consecutive matches ending last season. Good line here. Oh, great little running. Great play. Danger man is Sava Tabua. Waisali Sava Tabua coming up from full-back. Oh, and the Eagles certainly going strongly for the line. And last-ditch tackle, but not enough. And the early part of this game dominated by the Eagles, and then culminating with the first score to them, 4-0. And the Eagles fans happy with that, who wouldn't be? And it was full-back Savatabua providing the extra man up in the line, and Salford really not going. So it was Matt Crowther who was in support to force his way over of a last despairing tackle from Gary Broadbent, and they finished up winning 17 points to 16 in the dying seconds thanks to an Ian Watson drop goal from a long way out. A match that for me was arguably one of the best of the season, and success also to Crowther, I think, with the conversion. So 6 points to him already, so that means there's no Mark Aston in the Eagles lineup. And the Salford Reds 6-0 down, having only had the ball for just a few minutes and a couple of minutes themselves and 4 passes, and now they're in for a game. Oh, there's a big kick going out on the full, so the penalty will go to Salford on the halfway line. That rarely happens these days, but the conditions today very still. And a penalty going Salford way, give them the chance to presumably kick for touch. Josh White. And the fans just thinking they ought to be getting on with it a little bit more. And the kick, a good kick. And the first chance for Salford to attack. 30 metres out, Darren Rogers. First one, but the Sheffield Eagles defence will show us what they're made of. And Salford in the 20. Oh, Martin Crompton taking a nice little pass from Peter Edwards. Scott Martin, where's his runners? Well, Salford just overrunning Phil Hassan that time. Martin hanging on. Salford getting close to this line. Josh White's there, Martin Crompton's there. Little run around, nice pass on. David Hume, Steve Blakely tries to find room. Goes this direct route, but it's the last one, and the Eagles defence holding out so far. Josh White's in the line, so it's the high kick. It's hanging, judged to perfection. Oh, who's got it? Bounced. Goes to hand, goes to ground. Snapped up by an Eagles defender. Good 6 from the Salford Reds. Good chase from Darren Rogers, making the tackle, but the Eagles defence having the better of the Salford Reds attack. And there's danger man Sovatapua running the ball clear. Paul Broadbent, another big strong man in the Eagles pack. Johnny Lawless going on his own, has to be put down, and was successfully. So kick, early kick. Go, play on. Somebody hurt. Josh White hurt. Took the knot right in the small of his back. So another attempt at the kick, this time successful from Rod Doyle. And certainly the Eagles having the better of it in these early stages. 6-0 in the lead. Repelling a Salford attack. A Salford attack that started 30 metres out but couldn't do much inside the Eagles' 10-metre area. Super evening. Conditions absolutely magnificent. Nathan McAvoy's first run. David Hume. Eagles tackling firmly. Peter Edwards onto Scott Martin. Andy Platt takes it forward a bit more. Good line from the Reds if they can use it. Martin Crompton, men over. Oh, pass goes to ground. Oh, and it's been snapped up by the Eagles if we're not careful. McAvoy rescues it and the referee wipes them out. So perhaps in one way disappointment that Salford couldn't take advantage of the 3-2 overlap, but then relief that the Eagles couldn't also take advantage of the drop ball. And the referee very clearly seeing that infringement. I think it was Paul Broadbent that he penalised. Referees Mr. Ganson. Now Salford take the penalty quickly and have another chance. Cliff Eccles. Oh, great push off from him. Salford fans obviously love that. And the referee saying that Cliff Eccles dropped the ball during the tackle. And certainly Andy Gregory is not going to be happy with that situation. And Salford surrendering first tackle possession. Shouldn't happen. Cliff Eccles still finding his feet. No doubt anxious to get to match fitness. And there's Wetu Tua. Eagles want to move it well. Looking the livery of the teams in this stage. Paul Carr. John Lawless at dummy half. Dale Lawton taking it forward. Good line. Good line from the Eagles. Good defence though from the Reds. Darren Shaw put down necessarily. Full back up again. Big strong man. Needed a big hit on him to put him down. Ooh. And a kick. Good kick, putting it deep. Finding a good touch right inside that Salford 10-metre area. And certainly the Eagles doing all the right things at the moment from their point of view, keeping the Salford Reds out, and a super kick. And I think in these conditions where it is so warm, we might just see that scrums just take a little bit longer than usual to form. So this play is the opposite end of the ground from where I'm stood. And a great view for try scored right under me. And let's hope we see one or two of those before this first half finishes, because if we do, it'll be the Salford Reds that are on the score sheet. They're not at the moment though, they're 6-0 down. And looking to run the ball forward, Asini Faimalu. David Hume. Can't get clear, some strong Eagles tackling. Oh, ball dropped, interception, a real chance for the Eagles. So there's the Salford Reds trying to do one extra pass to create the opening and find themselves on defence quickly. That ball going backwards, but the Eagles still have it. The tackle not made completely. It is now. So Eagles with a real chance to put more points on the board, particularly as the penalty goes their way. I think it was no, it wasn't. It was Steve Blakely, perhaps. Penalised for holding down, said the referee, and so Matt Crowther successful with one attempt at goal, going for another one, and the early play certainly going quite noticeably the way of the Eagles, not just with the score, which is the thing that really matters, but certainly bossing the game so far. So we've had the paragliders as well before the game started. These guys jumping out of the airplane thousands of feet above us and landing in this Willows arena. Maybe the crowd swelled just a little bit, but still struggling to get to 4,000, I think. And Salford struggling to find a gear at the moment. There's Matt Crowther. Well, that's a close one, but just missing, unsuccessful. Relief for the Reds, but still 6-0 down, and with the kick, the drop out from the 20, possession will go back to the Eagles. And it's Steve Blakely with the kick. That's a good deep kick. Taken comfortably by the fullback. Passes on quickly to Broadbent. And it's the forwards who running in. Oh, and surely an arm from Broadbent there in retaliation. Referee didn't see it. Fullback up in the line again. So difficult to put down. He is now though. Savatabua, big strong man. Keith Senior's out there as well for the Eagles today. Scored those 2 tries in the cup victory over Castleford. Good hands from the Eagles. Tattle, good tattle. I think that was on Darren Turner. Oh, good strong run. Gareth Stevens, a slip at the right time from the Salford Reds' point of view. So it's the last one, and Salford had a good defensive 6. But that's a dangerous kick. Hanging and hanging. Oh, and Darren Rodgers makes that his very emphatically, very convincingly. And the Salford Reds fans, ironic jeers. Oh, that the referee saw the holding down. Salford get on with it quickly. And as the sun goes in, Andy Platt takes it the first 10 metres forward. Cliff Eccles is going to do the second. Happy to get back playing, I'm sure, Cliff Eccles. Put the defence up quickly. Can't break the tackle. So Asini Faimala has a go, but again, no way through for him. Salford playing the one-man rugby so far now. They've got a good line. Martin Crompton's out there. He's got several runners. Who's he used? Used Scott Martin. Scott Martin onto Nathan McAvoy. Put the cover there, good from the Eagles. Martin Crompton's there again. This time he goes on his own. But Salford getting to their last tackle already. And this time it will be the kick, the high one. It's going to hang. It's dangerous. Hassan's there running for it, looking for it. Goes anywhere. Oh, and it's taken by the Eagles, but not taken cleanly by the full-back. And under pressure from the runners, so important. Darren Rodgers in there as well. But the pressure on the receiver, so important, forcing the error. The ball dropped, the knock-on given, and Salford with the chance for 6. Inside the Eagles 20. And working the short side, Martin Crompton. Long pass out to Scott Martin. Quickly to Nathan McAvoy, but the cover's there quickly. Only 5 metres from the line. Martin Crompton's in the line. Who wants it? Andy Platt takes it and releases. So important. Now there are men over. Edwards looks to go on his own. Blakely looks to go on his own. Sells one dummy. Can't elude the tacklers. Important period of play. Important if Salford can score to get back in it. Eagles all offside over here. Long pass out. Must be men over. Martin Crompton still running. Go where? Nowhere to go in the end. Shrugs them off though. Releases the ball. Salford moving his ball well. Andy Platt takes them in. Back to the middle. And again, that's where we started this play. Salford still 10 metres from the line. Josh White's there. Little kick over. That time it's too deep. And Eagles defence in top form so far in this game. And a match for whatever the Salford Reds can throw at them in attack. Keith Senior looked as though he'd had a bit of a knock on this side, but the play goes on for all that. So that best period of play from the Salford Reds, 15 minutes or so into the game, coming to nothing because the Eagles defence had the measure of it, and the Eagles have that 6-0 advantage and running forward purposefully. That time Dale Lawton taking it close to the halfway line. Broadbent's there, Paul Broadbent working it forward. Certainly better period of play from the Salford Reds that was, but on defence they've got to know. Gary Stevens this time. Filetti, dangerous probing run, but good tackle on him, and the ball lost, and the referee sees that as a straightforward drop ball, and that's a chance for Salford, and that's full credit to the tackler. Because it was that pressure in the tackle that forced the error. Salford. Oh, Gary Broadbent on his own. Senior back up and recovered. And Faimalo from that scrum so quickly. Can't make ground forward again. Savatabua still there doing his tackles. This time Cliff Eccles and Andy Platt together, but no real positive ground made. Now there's a good line from the Salford Reds, and they're using it right along the line. Another good pass on, well taken. Where's the extra man? Not quite found an opening. And Rogers, Phil Hassan, put a wall of Eagles defenders. A drop ball from Phil Hassan, and the Eagles pounce on it. And another period of play with the Salford Reds in possession comes to naught. And the Eagles defence really so good so far in this game. And they have the advantage of the 6-0 lead. Darren Shaw that time. Big hit on him. Great applause from the Salford fans for that tackle. And the referee having to stop that one because he just didn't play the ball, did he? He might not have had... No, that's the referee going to adjudge. He might not have had his shirt on. Oh, the referee's saying take it again. Well, what an unusual decision. I didn't know you could do that. But what do I know? Nice little inside pass, and the man did fullbacks in the clear, and he's got support. Oh, no, the ball dropped. Let off for the Salford Reds. The Salford Reds defence was broken, and that man was Savatabua who did it. Support from the fullback. I'm not sure who was the man in support, but it was a clear try-scoring opportunity because the pass was timed to perfection. Just when it looked as though Salford might have had a put in at a scrum. And that is a let-off for the Salford Reds. 6-0 down. And still looking to find something from this game. Some sort of rhythm and momentum and attacking momentum. Gary Broadbent trying to find a way. Nathan McAvoy the same, but the Eagles defending too well. It's going to need something special for the Reds for this one. And this time the Eagles penalised. A bit of fisticuffs. David Hume, I think, was involved, and I think it was Darren Shaw. Maybe they'd not heard the referee's whistle. And the Salford Reds fans doing their best to raise their team as the referee is calling Darren Shaw back. And Hume hears what the Salford Reds fans shout. David Hume standing his ground there. Oh yes, the replay on the screen shows that was 6 or 1 and half a dozen. So the penalty goes Salford way, and Cliff Eccles runs forward. Andy Platt does the same. Makes a few yards forward. Good line from the Salford Reds. Steve Blakely looks to do something. Martin Crompton, Scott Martin, but that great defence. This Eagles defence is up much more quickly than the Salford attackers can do anything about. McAvoy not able to do anything. Now it's another line the other way. Oh, very slow run around. But Blakely from nothing has seen something. Oh, great play from Blakely. Oh, and his play still goes on. Now there's a chance for the Salford Reds. Rogers has got men round him out there. Great play just when it looked as though they were going nowhere. Blakely broke the line, made the pass count. A hurried kick, but effective nonetheless. Martin Crompton's there. Oh, and that's a great take from Keith Senior. So the first real chance for the Salford Reds. Matt Crowther put down by Broadbent and Crompton. The first real opportunity. Only a half chance at that. But for all that, the Eagles' defence stood firm, and Savatabua yet again looking to run the ball for the Eagles. Salford Reds certainly impinging then. And there, the referee responding to the shout from the Salford fans that was a forward pass, and have another real chance. And in this sort of position, the Salford Reds do really need to put something on the scoreboard now. A chance of 6 plays inside the Eagles 20. Eagles defence has been so good so far. Josh White gets it out to Blakely. A very long and slow run around though. Gary Broadbent's up in the line. Can't beat the tackle of Crowther. The run around's not going quite quickly enough. Oh, there's a good strong run from Scott Martin though. That is great acting half-back's run, taking Salford so close, and Martin Crompton's there now. As the men over that side, who's going to get it? Martin Crompton's going to get it. The runners are there. Oh, so close, so unlucky. And the referee says that's not a try. Lets them play on. Andy Platt rescues it. Blakely tries to sell a dummy. Goes through still. Good play from Blakely, rescuing a situation, but Salford not going forward with cohesion. Andy Platt tries to get forward, can't. Now it's the last one. Can Salford do it this time? He must come over this way. There's men over, back inside, and Gary Broadbent drops the ball over the line. So that's not going to be a score. The referee, just for certainty, is going to look at the screen. But Gary Broadbent dropped the ball. Now is the referee going to adjudge, or is the third man going to adjudge? It was pulled out of his hands in the tackle. Let's see. And if it, no, it wasn't pulled out in the tackle. And I don't think that's going to be given, but it was scored right under where I'm standing. I couldn't wish for a better view. And my instant reaction that wasn't a try, but certainly Salford, for the first time in this game, I don't think the players think it was either, really feeling that there was an opportunity to score the first points, their first points of the evening. Gary Broadbent looks as though he's taking a bit of a knock. Tough guy, Gary Broadbent. And it's all going to hinge on the judgment about, there we are, no try, 10-metre scrum. And I think we all felt that was what was going to be. So it was the sixth tackled, is what the referee has judged. So the Eagles get on with it quickly. Paul Carr, and the best player period of... Oh, and Salford have intercepted it. So the referee saying that was stolen. He was stolen out of his during the tackle. The touch judge gave the advice, and the game today not going Salford's way. And Salford struggling to find the momentum that's going to bring them the score in this game to give them the chance to level things. The Eagles defended well whenever they've needed to. That ball dropped though, and Salford have the chance. So, Gary Broadbent running well. Eagles so good on defence. And Darren Rodgers trying to find a way through. But Salford certainly forcing a few errors from the Eagles because of their own tackling efforts. Andy Platt always in the thick of things. Salford not yet looked as though they were going to break the defence. Assini Farmalo tries to go forward, but that Eagles defence is so good. It was Rod Doyle that time, and McAvoy trying to find a way through, but really there was no chance of that happening from that position. So it's going to go to Josh White, not for the kick. Crompton, now there must be something. David Hume on to Darren Rodgers. Oh, little kick through, but ball taken over there. I'm not sure, was it Gareth Stevens covering? And again, that is how this match has gone. When the Reds have been in this great attacking position, the Eagles' defence has been able to be a match for it. Wetu Taiwa that time. Blakely misses one. Nick Pinkney, fast man. One of those magic moments in the semi-final was that chase between Pinkney and Rodgers, which Rodgers had the better of at the end. Chased Pinkney the whole length of the field before making the try-saving tackle. And that was a good line from the Eagles. If they can see they've got men over, it'll go all the way. Keith Senior's there. Tackle missed. All pass, all still. Play goes on. Now the referee has to pull it back for a forward pass. But the Eagles breaking the Salford line. Unfortunately, not able to complete the pass successfully. So the bad language being outlawed from the main Tannoy system, and Salford, well, we've had 27 minutes trying to find something special. McAvoy can't find it just then. Peter Edwards, Phil Hassan, he can't find it either. Stays on his feet a long time and releases the ball. Now that's what rugby league's all about, getting that extra pass out. But that Eagles defence back in numbers round the man with the ball all the time, preventing forward movement from Rodgers. Good long line. Nice pass out. There are men over if they can be used to. McAvoy. Good tackling from the Eagles defence. McAvoy on the charge. Onto Cliff Eccles. Into the middle, but again the Eagles defence put Eccles down. Josh White's there, little run, no, wasn't a run around. Oh, and Josh White's so unlucky not to be able to break that defence. Little kick through into space, has to be played by the full-back. Now is he going to run clear? No, he's not, but he still passes. And on the floor, puts the ball down. Enterprising play from the Salford Reds. Bit of fisticuffs afterwards, David Hume again involved. Well, we can remember in exactly the same situation last year, the St Helens players passed back to each other over their own line and didn't take the ball cleanly, and a try was scored that time. The receiver made absolutely certain, I'm not sure it was who was taking the pass, but Savatabur, the tackler on Savatabur, who was doing so well not to let him get clear. And Salford have the reward for that play. Paul Carr's being replaced. Have the reward is the fact that they should get possession from this dropout, and really do need, with the possession, with the little bit of extra dominance that Salford have had in these last few minutes. Great take from Broadbent. Look how, what a kick that was though, deep inside his own half. Darren Turner up quickly to make the tackle. Martin Crompton just taking a long time to get back in line. Assini Farmalo tries to shrug off his tacklers but can't. Two evenly matched teams. Andy Platt has to go on his own, nobody with him. Salford working hard, working better now, finding an opening. Cliff Eccles looking for an inside runner. In the end, has to go on his own. Nice little reverse to Phil Hassan. Phil Hassan still on his feet, but can't release that ball. It's the last tackle again. Referee says that was all right. Oh, that's the one to Darren Rogers. Who's got it? It's gone backwards. Referee says that was all right. So Rogers, that time, not able to get the ball. And again, the Eagles on defence do all the right things. The tackling was sound, keeping the Salford Reds attack at bay. And they had men back in numbers when the kick came. And here's Dangerman, this time releasing the ball to Crowther, wearing number 6 but playing on the left wing, although not that time in the standoff position. Bit of an oh, and Salford. Well, the referee's, what's he going to do? Is he going to let play go on? Nice little sidestep from Rod Doyle. Salford have to be alert because the Eagles running this ball quickly. Darren Turner that time. The ball drops, lost, knock on, says the referee, and the tackling pressure paying its dividends. Salford certainly working harder on getting into this game now, without being convincing in attack, in the sense that they're not able to break the Eagles' defensive line. And I think Cliff Eccles is coming off. First start for him for several weeks, and perhaps the pace just taking him a little bit of reminding, even after 100 consecutive games, that if you're out for a while, it does take a while to get into it. But Lucchini Savilio, he's certainly match fit. Nice long pass out to Phil Hassan. Phil Hassan taken high. Referee says it was all right. You can't think why. And there's Lucchini Savilio with his first run, but the defence up so quickly. Hangs on to that ball though, goes forward. Few important yards. Peter Edwards does the same, but big hit on Edwards. Nobody wants it. Yes, they do. Josh White wants it. Looking for his runners. Martin Crompton's one of them. Sets inside. Great play. Oh, it must have been held back, referee. He can't let that go. The penalty certainly has to go Salford's way. It wasn't a try-scoring definite situation, but Martin Crompton there showing all his guile. And the Salford Reds now having quite a difficult decision to make, because having shown how difficult it is to break this, having seen how difficult it is to break this Eagles defensive line, it looks as though they're going for the straightforward 2 points. And that is probably a reasonable decision to make. Mustn't forget just how hot it is down there. Certainly Salford's best period. The Eagles had the better of the first quarter of an hour. Salford had the better of the second quarter, but without being able to score that so important try that will give them the chance to level the scores. So an important game for the Eagles this is, as well as the Salford Reds. They have that as Blakely. Well, strikes it sweetly as always. and successfully. Important 2 points from Steve Blakely. So Sealy Marlowe is being replaced by his brother Joe. Great applause for Sealy. And that's what rugby league is about. It's about the whole squad. 17 players for every game, nearly always all used. Well, is it Nick Pinkney who juggled with the ball? But did so safely. Forward pass, but not seen by the referee. So Paul Broadbent, legs flailing there. Steve Malloy. Oh, look at this. Good running on Lawless. Johnny Lawless, sideways but threatening. All one tackle missed. And a second tackle missed. And all of a sudden there's a clear run through. Oh, Gary Broadbent doing just enough to stop Darren Turner, because it was almost a clear run to the line. Now a great attack from the Eagles, a kick through into space. Darren Rogers makes it his. Can he stay in play? Yes, he can. And one missed tackle, and that's what happens. And yeah, full credit to the Salford defence. Gary Broadbent doing just enough to halt the progress of Darren Turner, and then rescuing the line, bringing it forward. And the Salford Reds just looking for something extra at the moment. Just needing something extra. 6-2 and still staying in it. The penalty seeing the way of the Salford Reds, holding down in the play of the ball. And I think we all knew that this was going to be a difficult game today. Games with Sheffield Eagles always have been. So Lakini Savilio takes the first one. He needs a lot of men, 3 men to bring him down, and time. So can Salford find something here. Andy Platt just takes the tacklers. And Martin Crompton. Oh, tries to step inside. Joe Farmala was in support if needed. Steve Blakely. No way through for Steve Blakely. Bikini Savilio has a go into the 20, but it's the last one. It's a high kick, it's hanging, it's dangerous. Oh, McAvoy takes it his and scores a fabulous try for the Salford Reds. Absolute, oh, but the referee's going to have another look at it. The question is, was he offside or not? Because when you're McAvoy's height, when you're 6'5", is it? Then obviously you have an advantage. But the Eagles fans have decided that, the Eagles players have decided that was a try. And again, it came after a period of play when the Reds had found how difficult it was to break the line, break the defensive line. The kick was judged to perfection, but even more impressive was the jump that Nathan McAvoy made. So I think all the players have decided that's a try. Well, the screen that I'm looking at is a long, long way the other end of the ground. They're looking at the positions of the players, but what's the verdict from the referee? It's coming, it's a try, and this is modern technology at its best. The players all knew, they didn't have any doubt. Well, some people say the technology makes you wait, but when you wait to know that you're going to get the right decision, then it's worth waiting for. And the Salford Reds fans have 2 chances to cheer and applaud the McAvoy try, which has levelled the scores for the Salford Reds in a game in which so far, I regret to say, they've been something of the I'm trying to say the underdogs. I know what I mean. They've not been as good as Sheffield Eagles so far, but to level the score, having not been so good, bodes well for a second half. And Blakely Strikes it well as always. Oh, and the fans in the main stand told us that that was successful before it went over. They had the line behind the ball. A sweet kick, 2 out of 2 for Blakely. And for the first time in this game, the Salford Reds have a lead, 8 points to 6. Boy, they needed that. Great take, great score from McAvoy. Great kick that made it possible. Well, there's never a bad time to score a try, but there's certainly a good time to take the lead. It's just before half-time, and that's where we're getting to. Something like 37 minutes on the first half clock. Paul Broadbent always looking dangerous, always looking to offload. And the Eagles suddenly finding extra pace in the legs. Steve Malloy that time. Oh, there's the man who did the danger. He broke the Salford line earlier on. Darren Turner. Good run, good tackle on Darren Shaw. Last one, good defensive 6 from the Salford Reds. Important take for Gary Broadbent. The chasers are all round him. Oh, magnificent take from Gary Broadbent. 2 men bearing down on him, going for that ball at the same time. A good clearing run. The Salford Reds rescuing the line. Gary Broadbent, great take from him, absolutely magnificent. The Salford just happy to take the one pass and clear their own lines. Oh, and David Hume looks as though he's injured. And Joe's moving well across field. Martin Crompton goes the direct route. Oh, stays on his feet a long time. Difficult to put down, but it's the last one. Who wants it? Oh, the referee says that's all right. No. So Josh White really had no time to make the kick, and that was a disappointing end to an important 6 with the ball for Salford. And now they've got to do their own tackling again. I think it's Phil Hassan who's in there on Steve Malloy, who's been prominent since his arrival on the pitch, and this man's been prominent all the time. Paul Broadbent. Salford tackling, need to. Eagles threatening. Good line, good hands. Nice pass on to Danger Man. Danger Man, fullback Sova Tabua. Big, strong, fast fullback. Short side worked. Salford defenders there in numbers. They need to be. Tackles to spare for the Eagles. Penalty the Salford Reds way. Referee seeing something at the play of the ball. So whatever it was, it's a let-off for the Salford Reds, and he's picking out Darren Turner. So whatever it was, whether it was... Oh, that's what it was. Thank you, referee. Thank you, Mr. Ganson. It was a swinging arm in defence, even with the ball. And Salford able to get on with it quickly. Andy Platt. Force there. And Sevilio just checks a little bit, but goes forward. Joe Faimarlo. Good strong run from Joe Faimarlo. Still on his feet. On the stroke of half-time. So a first half in which the Eagles had the better of it at the beginning. Not only the try that came after 4 minutes by Crowther, they had the better of the next 10 or 15 minutes. Things evened up. Salford pressured, but the Eagles' defence was a match for them until the kick over to the right wing gave McAvoy the chance to out-jump the defence to score 10 metres in from the touch, and the conversion from Blakely following his earlier penalty gives the half-time score respectability and the lead to the Salford Reds by 8 points to 6. This is the 4th one now. Good line from the Salford Reds. Steve Blakely, Martin Crompton. Where are the runners? Phil Hassan goes backwards, snapped up by the Eagles. And the referee has seen that knock on, but he'll give the first one, presumably, the first one. And so that will be... Well, this is surprising, isn't it? We see these powers throwing this ball around when it's wet, when it's slippy, when the ball's greasy, and it sticks like glue. And then, in a day like today, where the conditions are fine and absolutely perfect, a pass like that goes down. That's the way it is. It's a difficult ball to take. It's this rugby league ball. But tackling is now the name of the game for the Salford Reds in these next few minutes as the Eagles look to find a way through. And there's a man who can find it, if anybody can. Look how difficult he is to put down. Fijian international at Rugby Union and Rugby League is Savatabua. Good tackling though, isn't it? Peter Edwards was there first. Now this little blindside move, little run. Andy Platt in forcefully with Josh White and David Hume. And finally put him down. That's the only way to make a tackle complete these days, is to get the man on the floor. Nice little inside ball. All but released. And Saverio doing so well, and the referee seen that ball was dropped. And I think the Eagles player, which is Rod Doyle, might feel that was a bit harsh, but it was the tackling, the pressure. I think it was Saverio then that was the man who wouldn't let him go. So Salford have the chance for possession. Good defensive six from them. Phil takes a flat ball. Well, no, the ball's still the same shape, but the pass was taken in flat. And Saverio, great little side step on him as Saverio. And look at that, and releases the ball, comes backwards. Salford make it somebody's. Oh, but they're giving it away. And all of a sudden the Eagles have it from nothing. Well, it wasn't. Well, in the end, when you lose possession, it's careless, and it gives the Eagles a big chance to do something. And got men over this side, comes back inside to that big strong man who's seen the line, going for it. Salford put him down. Important period of play, because the Eagles are in the 10-metre line, and Broadbent's going for it, and he's there, and that was a strong forwards pushover try. There was no hesitation. It has to be a try. Number 27, Steve Malloy. The Salford Reds really will look back on that period of play and wonder what on earth they were doing, conceding possession just inside their own half. Trying to work the ball clear is what they were doing to get the play moving and score a second, which they need if they're going to win this game. So they're 10-8 down at the moment. And Crowther makes no mistake. Eagles 12-8 in the lead. So there's a determination in that opening period from the Eagles. They just had an extra spring in the step that the Salford Reds couldn't quite match in the opening minute or two. And the Reds are now finding themselves behind again. Joe takes responsibility for the first run to the 20. It's going to need a lot of those now, and a lot of gutsy performances from the Salford Reds if they're going to win this game. Hughes trying to go forward. Martin Crompton doing the same. Josh White changes the angle and strides clear. Great run from Josh White. Turns his fullback. Where's he got support? No, he hasn't. Oh, the ball goes down. Darren Rodgers can't take it. Fantastic run from Josh White. Just running out of pace, just running out of speed, and all of a sudden the Eagles have a chance on their own. Great break from Josh White, and the support's slow to get to him. And what would have been a wonderful try, scoring opportunity, unfortunately comes to naught. The Eagles' defence went up a gear, and in the end did all the right things to bottle up the Salford attack. But a great break from Josh White and great pace, turning the full-back. There's a ball lost in the tackle, and Gary Broadbent has to go a long way to make it his. And the Salford fans not happy that Mr. Ganson saw that as being pulled out during the tackle. And another chance for the Eagles with the penalty to put the Salford Reds defence under pressure. Important period of play, because if Salford were to concede again now, it means they'd have to score 2 tries to get back into this game. And in these conditions that could well prove difficult, because the Eagles are in the 20, getting on with it quickly. Big man running up ball, on through and through, but down and down, and the referee seeing a flying arm in all that from somebody. The penalty going the Eagles' way, and the Eagles, I don't think, will have a particularly difficult decision in going for goal. Andy Platt being picked out because 2 more points from in front of the sticks is a gift to them. Head high tackle, says Mr. Ganson. And the Eagles with their attacks in this half, scoring on each occasion, the try, the conversion, and now a penalty. Great break from Josh White. So a gap from nowhere and great pace over the short distance. Unfortunately, Darren Rodgers couldn't quite get with him to take the pass. As Darren Rodgers surely would have had the pace to go all the way. Didn't happen, but those 2 points for the Eagles certainly did. Matt Crowther, 3rd success out of 3. And you just feel that this game is just slipping away from the Salford Reds, not because they're only 1 score behind us. The feeling's just not right somehow today, that the high level of motivation that we've seen from the Salford Reds is somehow a little bit lacking today. Well, that's only my view, and I'm only saying that so that they'll prove me wrong. And that was an important, interesting kick for the second time. Finding space in the Salford defensive line is the short kick. Joe Farmalo tries to go forward. Sevilio does the same. Reds substitutes warm up. Martin Crompton tries to find a way through. Can't. Salford moving forward strongly though. Steve Blakely trying to find a space. Can't get into the clear, but a good 6 from the Salford. An attack. Josh White with a kick. And this time he's going to put it deep, but that's going to run and run over the dead ball line. And a change on the Salford side. Craig Randall's replacing Andy Platt. Andy Platt receiving applause from the Salford Reds fans. And can Craig Randall inject a bit more life into this Salford Reds play today? The Eagles with the ascendancy at the moment and getting on with it quickly. Salford have men short in the attack in their defensive line. And the Eagles have big, strong men, difficult to put down. 8-14 to the Eagles. And a chance for the Eagles in possession. Nice little pass. Oh, and the tackle missed. Now men over for the Eagles. Coming up the middle. Oh, and Rodgers intercepts. Oh, right, great interception from Darren Rodgers when there was a real opportunity for an Eagles try. Great interception, try-saving interception. And Craig Randall's first run, straight at his tacklers, put him down. Salford a bit short, a bit thin on the right-hand side, and the fans know that. The fans can sense that there isn't quite the urgency somehow today. Martin Crompton trying to find a way through, probing. Josh White's in the line, Steve Blakely's there. Oh, but that ball, nothing play from Crompton and Blakely. Unfortunately, it was the dummy running around that fooled nobody in the kick through. And all of a sudden, Salford surrendering possession, and the Eagles comfortable. Nice little inside pass to the man with pace, but important tackle on him before he could get into his full stride with that pace. And Salford standing back, Salford not moving up quite so quickly now. The ball played quickly. Well, referee says it was all right. Keith Senior going forward. Important tackle on him. Eagles with space over this side. Nice little inside pass to full back again, and a good pass on, and a real chance for the Eagles. Good tackle from Salford defenders Randall and Broadbent, but the Eagles still going in. Little kick through, and Sevilio drops it. The referee is going to pull it back for the knock-on, so the put-in going to go to the Eagles. Sevilio doing well to get the ball, but not well enough. And it's 6 more for the Eagles. deep in Salford territory, and at the moment the Salford Reds not looking as though they can hold out. I'm sure they'll prove me wrong, but Salford Reds certainly going to have to be fully alert if they're going to prevent Eagles scoring in this period of play. Oh, look at that big strong running from Darren Turner. Gary Broadbent stood his line. Another penalty to the Eagles. Interference at the play of the ball. Now, no doubt, the Eagles have got to go for goal, because this certainly means that Salford have to score twice if they're going to win this game. And the game that is increasingly just slipping away from them. Andy Gregory not going to be happy with this performance. He's going to be asking some questions about what's been going on out here today. Eagles in no hurry. Matt Crowther, 3 out of 3 for him. It's certainly time for Salford to come back into it, that's not in doubt. It's just that we're not seeing the sort of performance from the Salford Reds that we have seen over the last several weeks. Maybe we underestimate the performance of certain players from time to time, missing perhaps Scott Naylor's incisive running. Perhaps that's a bit harsh of me. And Matt Crowther says, thanks very much for 2 more. 16-8. So the Salford Reds fans will be looking for something a little bit special now. For Salford, if they're going to maintain this top 5 ambition, well, this is one of those games that ought to be won at home at the Willows against a team that in the league has actually only won 1 game this year. They might have won the Challenge Cup, but it's the Eagles fans who are soaring at the moment, as yet again that high kick certainly goes nicely deep, and Craig Randall this time looks to take the first run. Threatening run from Randall, but the Eagles defence will now really be on its top mettle, because they have the lead, and they perhaps sensing that the league points could also be theirs if they carry on tackling like this, and if the Salford Reds can't produce something a little bit special. Salford all bunched in the middle. Oh, pass released by Randall, rather potentially dangerously but safely. And Steve Blakely this time with the kick, and that's the first time in this half that we've seen a kick successful, the Salford Reds. Josh White has put them over the dead ball line. Nonetheless, it's possession from the scrum to the Eagles, who are walking very slowly to take up the positions, and it's Salford who've got to play the catch-up football and really try and come up with something a little bit extra that we've not really seen in this game so far. We've got about 23 minutes in which to score 2 tries, if they can. Until then, they have got a tackle like that, and that was good. That was tackling gone up a little bit. Keith Senior, well put down. The Eagles get on with it quickly. Savilio, good tackle. Good tackle on Savatabura. The fans recognise that Salford have put that extra spirit into it all, extra intensity that's been missing. It's the 4th one, 4 tackles. Eagles still deep inside their own half. Just playing it safe. Oh, 1 tackle broken, and now there's a chance from nothing for the Eagles. And there's the support play, and can McAvoy get him? Oh, there's Manny support, great play. Oh, Martin misses the man who goes over near to the post for a great Eagles try. The Salford Reds tackling had gone up in intensity, but the break came from the 1 push-off in the middle of the field, and then there were many support. The Salford defence couldn't get back quickly enough, in numbers enough, and it was great support play from the Eagles. It really was excellent when the break was made. the first one pass to the inside and then a long pass to the winger, and when it looked as though Scott Martin was going to make the tackle, he couldn't make it decisively, and that is a try which has silenced the Salford Reds fans and could well have won this game for the Sheffield Eagles. Extends the lead to 20 points to 8, but staying in the field of play as Crowther takes an age for this kick. At 20 points to 8, leaves no reason to hurry anything, and the Salford Reds looking a rather sorry lot just at the moment, I'm sorry to have to say. And Matt Crowther continues with his 100% success rate, 20 to 8, and a tall order for the Salford Reds now. So there's been talk of Andy Gregory looking to go into the transfer market. He's certainly, after the defeat that may well follow today, going to be looking at that again. Talk of Mark Lee and Paul Forber leaving to go to Widnes, and it's always sad when long-term players for the club have to leave. Mark Lee certainly been a great servant for Salford over the many years he's been here, and scored some great little tries and created others. Salford for the minute have to try and do something, and there's a good kick from McAvoy into space. He's chasing and chasing, but the fullback's there comfortably, still drops it, loses it, and a real rescues it. The ball's still loose, and Salford still not quite scoring, and the try rescued. Now, wouldn't it have been so important? And that maybe is an indication of this game for Salford. A great little kick from McAvoy. The chase was absolutely brilliant, putting Salvatabua under pressure, but at the end of it all, the ball just bounced kindly for the Eagles. Oh, it was Salvatabua that knocked it dead, and Salford couldn't score the try that really would have lifted them in this last 20. Rescuing the situation for the Eagles, that man Salvatabua. But Salford, enterprising play from the kick, and another chance deep inside the territory of the Eagles, with Joe Faimalo. The Salford fans willing the Reds to do something special. Eagles with something to say about that. Eagles won victory over Salford Reds, and Salford never find it easy. A very slow run around that, and all that achieves. Phil the Sand looking for something. Oh, terrible pass. Goes out in the end. Little bit of misunderstanding between Hassan and Rogers. Rogers coming inside, and Salford trying to move the ball as they have to now. Just beating themselves with that particular play. So Salford with the chance to come back into it, just surrender that little bit of initiative back to the Eagles. Now this was the position. Oh, and Salford have snapped the ball up. On from nothing, Peter Edwards going forward. Great little take from Peter Edwards, but again, not able to make that line. The story of the Salford Reds night, and the ball dropped, and the Salford Reds, well, they're making a bit of luck themselves, but aren't they surrendering tonight? Andy Gregory will not be happy with that. Again, one tackle, and the ball surrendered. And Peter Edwards so close. Other times would have seen him score from that position, but somehow tonight nothing going quite right for the Salford Reds, and that's because they're not making it go right for them. Interfering, frustration from David Hume, penalty going against him, and the Eagles have time to clear the line, and Salford going to have to pick themselves up after this one, because there's no easy fixtures in Super League. And next week's game at Castleford, not going to be easy by any means. Particularly going after a performance like this, where confidence will have to be worked on, and the work rate improved. Forget the weather. It's the same for both teams. If you're fit enough, it doesn't matter that it's 20 degrees C. Oh, nice senior, nearly striding clear. doing enough to release the ball. Salford under pressure again. Good forward plays that Lawless this time. The play still goes on. Interference, penalty going the way of the Sheffield Eagles. Salford Reds trying to get in the way, trying to get out of the way, but not going right, and the referee saying that was deliberate. So Steve Blakely, perhaps he's captain now. There was no deliberate attempt by the Salford player to interfere. Not to my eyes. It wasn't the cleanest of play the balls, which didn't help. Change on the Eagles side. Johnny Lawless is going off. After that great little run forward. And the Eagles will be fancying him to chances now to score again. 22-8 in the lead. And Salford having to defend like mad. Now the Salford Reds fans not happy about something. And Paul Heighton's on for the Salford Reds. His debut. Let's wish him well in the Salford Red shirt. So that ball goes down. Oh, well, tackle missed, but supporting tackle made. So Paul Heighton on, wish him well for the Salford Reds. Being useful if he could have a good start to this game. Keith Senior. I think, perhaps not. Oh, but look at that, in the tackle, Tan on his feet to get that ball away, and again the pass goes, and again the pass goes. So many great play from the Sheffield Eagles. Oh, and it must be a try. It's easy in the end when it looks like that. Keith Senior, the Salford Reds defence cut asunder again, and they were cut asunder because the tackles weren't made to completion. And I think there were at least 3, if not 4 occasions in that build-up that Salford Reds failed to put the Eagles on the floor, and the Eagles man released the ball, and this really is becoming easy for the Eagles now. 26 points going to become 28 points to 8. That's lacking the intensity for whatever reason. Maybe talk of transfers is unsettling. Maybe it's the heat. For whatever reason, Salford Reds have disappointed in this one. But I'm sure we'll be coming out to make amends next week. This is one of the biggest defeats we've seen down here at the Willows for a long, long time. And who'd have thought it had been against the team that had only won 1 game in the league so far. Now there's no doubt about his prowess today, is it? That's Matt Crowther, 100% success rate. 5 out of 5. So the television fans of the Salford Reds will be disappointed with this. David Hume being called up by the referee. And Sabatabua. Referee Stig Hansen seeing something after that. So the biggest home defeat in the Salford Reds for some time. And they make a bit of respectability out of the scoreline in this last 10 minutes, I think, is all we've got left. And this must be always the most difficult part of any game for any team that's losing and know it's lost. But for 10 minutes they've got to try and find something. Blakely does just that, he tries. And Paul Heighton with his first run with the ball. Goes to ground though under the tackles. 12 minutes, 24 seconds still to go according to the big screen clock. Oh, nice little release from Joe Farmarlo. Salford looking, Paul Heighton takes the tackle. Salford still bunched in the middle. And Senior Farmarlo returns to the fray in place of Lucchini Savilio. Steve Blakely, the high one, the chasers. Gary Broadbent up from fullback, but an easy, great take from the fullback. Salford must be in line for the man of the match. And the Salford Reds fans not had a lot to shout about today. One try only. And on defence, it's a similar situation to the one that brought the Eagles try before last. And Salford Reds still have to tackle. Want respectability in the scoreline. It's going to be difficult for Andy Gregory, I would imagine, to motivate his troops or to fire them back up after this one. The Eagles happy to work the short side and then go back to the convention of kicking for touch and doing that successfully. And Salford Reds slowly getting back for this scrum, slow in foot, and has to be said today, short on ideas about how to break the Eagles' defensive line. So the Eagles turn their corner and will record their second league win. Peter Edwards, surprisingly, rarely, making way for Cliff Eccles to return. To give Cliff Eccles another 10 minutes. Try and get his match fitness. And McAvoy seeing space immediately. Good switch of direction. And Sini Faimalo pushes one off, but not a second. Stop dead. So Salford made the mistake of coming out to, good hands. Phil Hassan blocked the defence from Eagles. A match for the Salford attack so far. Joe Faimalo won't find a way through. Martin Crompton, nice little inside pass. And Randall escapes the tackle. So Paul Hyton has a go. Straight run. Martin Crompton, high one, chasing it himself, hanging well, but taken, dropped this time. Who's got it? Well, the Eagles have got it, but taken in the end by Salford again. Didn't take it cleanly, but took it well enough to prevent the Salford Reds scoring. The Salford Reds team, which sadly lacking in ideas today on attack. Maybe last week's victory was just a little bit too easy, and 48 was perhaps flattering. Deserved nonetheless last week. It counts for nothing tonight. Kick into space. And Gary Broadbent makes it his. Look at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 chasers from the Eagles. And the Salford Reds really taking time to come back. McAvoy tackled easily. Joe Faimalo releases the ball to Phil Hassan. Cross field into his tacklers. Good little run from David Hume. Steve Blakely, little kick over. Darren Rogers is chasing. Eagles covers there. Rogers misses his man. But Scott Martin doesn't that time. And the Salford left after their 6 to kicking, and kicking from deep. Not able to put real pressure on the Eagles' defence. But good line now from the Eagles. And his men over that side. McAvoy holds on, but there's another important tackle missed, and another try on the cards now for the Eagles. Gary Broadbent, though, hurtles himself at the man in possession. If it was great tackle by the Salford Reds, but the Eagles still threatening, and if the tackle's not made, then there's a man he supports. Savatabu was standing up, holding the ball in one hand, ready to release. Salford taking an age to put Martin Wood down. And Savatabu trying to force his way over himself. It's the last tackle. Can Salford hold out for one more? Reverse of direction for the drop goal. Oh, well, didn't get off the ground. And that's about the only thing that's not gone right for the Eagles tonight. And Darren Rod just throws the ball back to David Hume. Or Savatabu is leaving the field. Perhaps that's an injury, and Salford fans, not surprisingly, leaving this game. And unfortunately, on a great night like this, with the opportunity to really impress the fans with a good performance and victory, they've failed to do that of Salford. The performance has been one of the worst we can remember for some time. And the Eagles in this second half have dominated and shown Salford how you score the tries. And Salford looking without ideas now. Like that. It's going to be a knock-on. Handover. So I think the Salford Reds will be glad when this game comes to an end. And I think it's back to the drawing board this week. Look at the Eagles throwing this ball around so well. Oh, great little inside pass. The defence is there though this time and a match for it. But Eagles giving the Salford Reds a lesson in how to handle the ball and how to find the opening and then use it to try scoring advantage. Oh, I'm sure we'll see a different. And this time the penalty going the Eagles' way. Oh, we've still got about 5 minutes to go. 8:28. And the Salford Reds fans, a rare sight seeing them leave the Willows early. But we really can see the Eagles scoring another try or two before this game finishes. And Salford not a patch on the team that's done so well so far this season, that got to the semi-final of the Cup. Eagles just toying at the moment. Salford still making their tackles though. From close range, and if we're not careful, that's another try, but on his back, he settles for. And the Salford defence having to do well. Gary Broadbent singled out to the Salford man of the match. And that is a deserved reward for his efforts on attack and in defence. That try-saving tackle a few minutes ago, absolutely outstanding. Had an influence on the Dudgeys. Salford short over that side, but one tackle from Craig Randall enough. But again, Eagles trying to get in from close range and so difficult to put down. Is that Darren Turner back on? Salford all offside in the middle here. Long pass out. Martin Wood. Keith Senior though going a long way around. Who's going to get him? Nobody. Yes, he is. Darren Rogers just doing enough. It looked then as though Darren Rogers had let him go too far, but Rogers has got deceptive pace in catching up in those sort of situations and just did enough to put Senior into touch. Martin Crompton putting the ball in for Hassan. Joe Farmalo. Well tackled, 2 minutes to go. Aside the referee sees the penalty Salford's way. So can Salford finish with a flourish and give us supporters something to go home about? Eagles all offside from the referee, saw it that way too. So 2 minutes to go. Another penalty to the Salford Reds. Doesn't matter to the Eagles. They run it. Senior Farmalo pushes one off, not a second. Drops the ball, the story of the game, and the Eagles have it again. Another first tackle handover. Craig Randall makes the tackle with support. Eagles relishing this one now. Craig Randall makes another good tackle. So a little slap there from somebody. David Hume though shrugs it off. Martin Wood, little kick into the deep. Chasers are there. And Gary Broadbent makes it his. Tries to get the ball onto Darren Rodgers, but in the end sensibly hangs on to it. Nowhere for Darren Rodgers to go because the Eagles still tackling the hearts out. In the last minute of this game, Cliff Eccles, well, good to see him playing again, but not match fit as yet. David Hume goes forward. Steve Blakely, long pass on to Markham Thompson. Good long pass out to Darren Rodgers. Can Darren Rodgers go the long way? Well, no, he can't. Well, he gets it into the field of play. The referee says that's all right. Nice little pass, great hands from the Salford Reds. McAvoy involved. 17 seconds to go. And Salford looking for that final flourish. Paul Heighton onto Scott Martin. Back to Paul Heighton. Goes straight into space. Looks for support. And Steve Blakely's that support, but not Steve Blakely even can't get into the clear. Good long pass out to Martin Crompton, who comes back this way. Pass out there to Gary Broadbent. Craig Randall still releases the ball. But Eagles defending right to the very, very end. Disappointing performance from the Salford Reds, not to mention the result. The Eagles, they were soaring in the second half. They threatened throughout the game to dominate. Salford though had the half-time lead thanks to the McAvoy try, a conversion and a penalty from Steve Blakely. But the tries came from the Eagles in the second half in particular. Some spectacular ones, long-range ones, and they looked as though they had the ability to cut the Salford Reds defence, not quite at will, but more so than in any game we've seen from the Salford Reds for some time. So a performance for the Salford Reds to forget, and boy won't Andy Gregory make them work hard this week and see the intensity return for next week's game. Let's hope so. Biggest Salford home defeat for some time. Disappointment all round. Deserved victory to the Sheffield Eagles, and the final score, the Salford Reds 8, Sheffield Eagles 28.